Hey guys, Charlie here, back with another video. I'm sorry there hasn't been one for a while. I just got back from my holiday yesterday because it's summer holidays down here, and yeah, of course, I did what you do, which is go away, and it's something we haven't gotten a chance to do a lot last year, so that was really great. But I'm back home now, got a couple more weeks to relax before school starts back up, and sorry about that. And I thought, what better thing to do than name my top seven favorite releases of 2020. Now, the reason we're doing top seven is because, well, I'm only 2 years into my journey with hard rock and metal and music, so not a lot of, so wasn't listening to a lot of new stuff, wasn't into a ton of bands in 2020, but these are some releases that were pretty notable for me and pretty notable for a lot of people as well. So yeah, doing my first ever top releases of the year video. So this is going to be fun. I will throw a list of mentions here. These are 10 releases from these bands that were pretty notable, and I've seen on a lot of other people's lists that I've been watching. I haven't been into these bands, so these aren't releases that I've heard, but they are releases that I do fully intend to listen to at some point when I get into these bands. So releases from no particular order: Fate's Warning, Deep Purple, Armored Saint, Annihilator, Testament. New album's meant to be really good. Blue Oyster Cult, Sodom, Heathen, Tokyo Blade, and Gamma Bomb, but I'm sure there are plenty of others. I just need to get into a lot more bands, which I do plan on doing in 2021. So yeah, so here, with that out of the way, here are my top seven favorite new releases of 2020. Only three of them are actually new studio albums. I've got three live albums and a re-recording of an old album, which isn't a reissue or remastered type thing, but it's actually a properly redone version of the album. You'll see what that is. I own all of these on some kind of physical format except for two. The ones that I don't, I'll just show you a picture on my phone. And so I'll just go through these, talk about some tracks, why I like the album, and so number seven is going to be Ozzy Osbourne with "Ordinary Man," the brand new Ozzy album. Some people love this one's kind of divided. Some people love it, some people don't like it. But I really like this album. I think it's got a lot of really great stuff. No, Ozzy Osbourne. He's in his early 70s now. And he's working on a new album as well. Believe it or not, it's kind of funny because it's like this album. You listen to it and it feels like Ozzy is saying goodbye to us, and you think that may be what it was all about. But yeah, obviously we got the pandemic, and Ozzy thought I'll record a new album, and yeah, he's working on another one, and I'm not complaining at all. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, whether it's coming out this year or next year or whenever. Bring it on, Aussie, but no pressure at all. So Ordinary Man, really good album, pretty dark stuff. It's got Andrew Watt on guitar. I think it was Duff McKagan on bass, and Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili Peppers on drums. I won't talk about lineups too much, but so yeah, a lot of really great stuff. Kicks off with "Straight to Hell." All My Life is great. Goodbye, pretty good. I absolutely love the title track that features Elton John. That's a beautiful song. "Under the Graveyard" is one of the most depressing songs ever. I mean, that's a great one as well. "Eat Me" is fun. "Today's the End" is cool. With "Today's the End," that opening guitar kind of reminds me of Nightcrawler from Judas Priest. So that's pretty cool. "Scary Little Green Man's" a cool one. "Holy for Tonight." "It's a Raid," which features, even though it features Post Malone, that's a really cool fast one. So I really like that. Take What You Want, that which is a Post Malone song with Ozzy Osbourne, Travis Scott. That's pretty. Don't care for that, but everything else, really good. So yeah, number 7, Ozzy Osbourne, Ordinary Man. Coming in at number 6, something pretty cool. A reissue of an album that I know I might get a bit of controversy for this, but I really don't care. No matter what you have to say about this band or what you hate about them, I love them, and yeah, of course, I'm talking about the reissue of Nickelback, All the Right Reasons. The main thing on this that I'm talking about is this really cool live set that they've got. I might just show you the inside. Not a lot of great stuff there. And there's the guys, got Daniel, Chad, Mike, and Ryan. Um, as all the Nickelback albums have. Really great to get this reissue. Really glad that this got a 15th anniversary reissue. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. So I won't talk about the album itself because that came out all the way back in 2005. It's Nickelback's best selling album. And they reissued with a few B sides. They got a cover of Queen's "We Will Rock You," acoustic versions of "Photograph," "Too Bad," and "Someday." And then you get the live show. This is so number 6. I'm calling it Nickelback Live at Buffalo Chip. A performance from 2006, really good to have. And got great live versions of a lot of songs from this album and a few other albums. All the songs on this album are actually from All the Right Reasons, The Long Road, and Silver Side Up. So nothing from the first 2 albums, which I don't really care for that much. But it's that I don't care for the first 2 Nickelback albums. So so they don't play anything from those 2 albums. So that's okay. Kicks off with Animals, which is a super fun song. Woke Up This Morning. Photograph, Because of You is great. Far Away. Never Again, Saving Me. Someday, which on my Spotify Wrapped, I actually got the fact, one of the things it said was that I listened to the live version of Someday, before it hit 50,000 streams, so I'm a pioneer. Side of a Bullet, of course, How You Remind Me, Too Bad, and then Figured You Out to close out the live set. So if you're a Nickelback fan and want to see some kick-ass live tracks, do pick up this version of All the Right Reasons, and it's worth getting this album because it's an amazing album. We'll do a ranking of their albums at some point, so stay tuned for that. And if you don't like Nickelback, then don't watch it. Simple as that. Right, on to number 5 here. So number 5, it's another live album. It's Iron Maiden, Nights of the Dead, live in Mexico City. Really awesome stuff from the Legacy of the Beast tour, which is awesome. I'll show you this. This version comes with stickers and a poster. Got the stickers in here. I don't have the poster. It's up on the wall in my bedroom, which is where which is where I put all the posters that I get with these kinds of things. So, I strongly recommend getting this. Some really fantastic stuff. A lot of it mainly focuses on the first 3 Bruce Dickinson albums, but they do a couple songs from the Blaze Bayley era and a couple of songs from the more modern era. It opens up with Churchill's Speech and Aces High, Where Eagles Dare, from Peace of Mind, 2 Minutes to Midnight. 2 songs from the Blaze Bayley era that they play are The Clansman from Virtual 11. That is a fantastic song, and the version on here is great as well. They also do Sign of the Cross from the X Factor, which is awesome. Revelations, For the Greater Good of God. That was a really cool one they pulled out. One of my favorite songs from the 2006 album, Matter of Life and Death. The Wicker Man, which is one of my favorite Iron Maiden songs of all time. You know what else do they play? Flight of Icarus. which they haven't played live in ages. I think partially because Steve Harris actually doesn't particularly like that song, but it was really great that they played it live. Fear of the Dark, absolutely amazing. Number of the Beast, the Iron Maiden eponymous track, closes out with The Evil That Men Do, Hallowed Be Thy Name, and of course, Run to the Hills. So, absolutely fantastic live album, Iron Maiden, Knights of the Dead, Legacy of the Beast, live in Mexico City. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Um, Next up, this comes from one of my top three favorite bands of all time. I've called them my favorite, but maybe, well, I mean, they're a band I love. Let's just say, of course, Metallica, S&M2, with the San Francisco Symphony. Really good stuff. I got the deluxe box set version. If you saw my first ever record collection video, you'll have seen that. Got the CD, and also got the vinyl right here. Really cool gatefold. So yeah, Metallica S&M2. I know the whole heavy metal bands playing with a symphony orchestra is kind of hit or miss on some people, but I love it. I think it works really well, and I think it really adds a lot to these songs. The Ecstasy of Gold, the Call of Cthulhu, which opened S&M1, Whom the Bell Tolls, that live version of The Day That Never Comes is fantastic. The Memory Remains, which is pretty funny how at the end the audience is doing all that kind of thing. Damn, I forgot how it goes, but that's pretty cool. Play really great to see them play some songs from Hardwired, Confusion, Moth in the Flame, and Halo on Fire. The Outlaw Torn, that was really cool to see them bring that back. Then you got a couple of covers. You got the City and Sweet, The Enemy of God, and the Dance of the Dark Spirits, and the Iron Found, that one's just San Francisco Symphony, and the Iron Foundry Opus 19, which is by Symphony and Metallica. The Unforgiven 3 with just James and the Symphony, that's pretty cool. We got Scott Hingle, I think his name was, doing the Anesthesia Pulling Teeth bass solo, Wherever I May Roam, 1, and get Master of Puppets, Nothing Else Matters, and Enter Sandman closed out. So, yeah, Metallica, S&M2. Really good. Number 3, it's one I don't have a physical copy of, but do hope to get. It's, let me just get it up. It's from a band that I've been talking about a lot. I did an album ranking of theirs. I'm going to do my top 15 favorite songs by this band soon. Of course, I'm talking about new wave of British heavy metal pioneers, Diamond Head. You can barely see it because of the glare, sorry, but with Lightning to the Nations 2020. This is obviously it's the 40th anniversary of their groundbreaking debut album, so yeah, it's really cool to get this version of it. They re-recorded it with kind of modern technology. It sounds really polished and well put together, and it's got with the new lineup, and it has Rasmus Baum Anderson on board. And I have said Rasmus is my favorite vocalist for Diamond Head, and I'm going to say something that's not going to get me many friends, but this 2020 version of Lightning to the Nations is probably the only version of this album I'm ever going to listen to again. Nothing against the old one, that is absolutely great as well, but this is a 2.0 version of it. I mean, just way better production, better vocals, and nothing against Sean Harris, but I like Rasmus better, and all the songs are equally as fantastic, and they sound heavier, really. The title track, The Prince, Sucking My Love, all these songs are all classics, and I think classics that are really painted in a new light here. Sucking My Love, Am I Evil, Sweet and Innocent, It's Electric, and Helpless, of course. And then this version, you get some really great cover songs as well. There's a cover of No Remorse by Metallica, which is really cool. They cover Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin, Sinner by Judas Priest, and it closes off with an absolutely fantastic cover of Rat Bat Blue by Deep Purple, which I really love a lot. So, number 3, Lightning to the Nations 2020 by Diamond Heads. Right, we're into the top 2. I know I've been talking a lot about live albums and stuff, so yeah, top 2, both brand new studio albums by these bands. Number 2 is going to be 2020 by Bon Jovi, new Bon Jovi record. Really great stuff, modern, melodic rock, hard rock album, which is great, kind of a really socio-political, topical record, but also some stuff about the pandemic, which was just added on to it. So that's great. Kicks off with Limitless. I absolutely love Limitless. That could be my favorite song of the year. Just really great kickoff track for this album. Do What You Can, American Reckoning, which John wrote and recorded about the George Floyd protests and stuff, and all that story. We're not going to get into it. Beautiful Flag. Beautiful Drug. That's a good one. Let It Rain. Lower the Flag, which is a cool acoustic song. Blood in the Water is great. That kind of reminds me of Dry County off of Keep the Faith. Brothers in Arms, and then Unbroken to close it off, which is awesome as well. So, yeah, Bon Jovi 2020, my second favorite album of the year. So just fantastic album overall. So yeah, and that leads me to my number 1 favorite album of the year. You might be able to guess what it is. So this is coming from the band that really got me into hard rock and stuff. They were pretty much my favorite band at grade 6 and have loved them pretty much ever since. And for a lot of people, this was the most hyped release of the year. There had been rumors of circulating of a new album from this band since like 2018. And it's an album that has topped the Billboard Hot 100. That kind of gives it away. So without further ado, in my opinion, the best album of 2020 is ACDC Power Up. Just a really great album. I love this. I remember coming home from school and going on Spotify and when it was brand new and putting it on and really digging it a lot. This is a lot of people are calling this ACDC's best album in 30 years. So since the Razor's Edge, and not there's no such thing as a bad ACDC album, but this is really great stuff. Obviously paying all the songs and riffs are kind of taken out little bits and bobs that were worked on throughout the years. And all the songs have a co-writing credit from Malcolm Young. In fact, I'm just going to take the booklet out. You can see here, this one's for Mal. Of course, rest in peace, Malcolm Young, one of the greatest rhythm guitarists of all time. But ACDC Power Up is my favorite album of the year. Pretty much every song here is just great. Realize is fantastic. Rejection, the lead single, which was Shot in the Dark, is great. Through the Mist of Time. I absolutely love the song Kicks You When You're Down. I love those backing vocals, and that riff is great. Really memorable album. The problem with some of the other AC/DC albums, they're not terrible, but I mean, a lot of people like to talk about AC/DC as having made the same album over and over again, and well, I mean, that's not a bad thing. It's because they have a formula. In fact, they're one of the only bands I can think of that really have maintained a consistent sound all these years. So yeah, but this, and maybe some of the albums like Fly on the Wall and Blow Up Your Video, like they have that formula, but the thing is they're not very memorable. But this is just really great. The production's great. Brian Johnson sounds better than ever. Really, I think a little time away from the hard rock scene really did him some good because his voice is fantastic. But and yeah, it's just really catchy stuff. Witch's Spell, Demon Fire is really cool. Systems Down is a great song, Money Shot, and it wraps up with an awesome song called Code Red. So yeah, my favorite album of 2020 is ACDC Power Up. So yeah, let's recap this list. Number 1, Power Up by ACDC. Number 2, 2020 by Bon Jovi. Number 3, Diamond Head, Lightning to the Nations 2020. Number 4, Metallica S&M2. Number 5, Iron Maiden, Knights of the Dead. Number 6, Nickelback, Live at Buffalo Chip with the 15th anniversary digipack of All the Right Reasons. And number 7, Ozzy Osbourne, Ordinary Man. So yeah, so those are my releases of 2020 that I really loved. I'm going to do a video on my most anticipated releases of 2021 soon. So I got a lot of great stuff planned over the next 2 weeks, which is going to be great. Got a lot of really awesome stuff coming out in the near future. So we'll be doing lots of reviews and stuff, and I look forward to what my top 10 or however many favorite albums of 2021 is going to look like. So yeah, remember to like and subscribe to Invisible Kid, and yeah, thanks for watching.